I was joined this morning by Mr. Babs Omotowa, who is the Managing Director, Nigeria LNG. Morning, and thank you for coming in today.
Thank you very much.
I know that the first thing that may come to everyone's mind, wait a minute, what's the connection? NLNG Agriculture.
Nigeria LNG has a vision to be a world-class organization helping to build a better Nigeria. So in the vision of being able to help build a better Nigeria, LNG always looks for areas where we believe that the Nigerian incorporation could be further developed. Having looked at the various indices, we are convinced that agriculture is a main area that will be important for the development of Nigeria. And so we are keen to support the efforts of the Nigerian government as well as private investors to move on this agenda.
But we also do understand that the host community, but there's this impression that, could it be that NLNG does this to the host community in order to maintain perhaps better relations with them? Or it's beyond that and sincerely supporting the plans and programs of the government?
Clearly it's beyond that. I mean, we have an obligation, of course, to our host communities, and we are working pretty hard to continue to build on the foundations we have laid in the communities. But more importantly for us, we have a Nigerian agenda, which is to help this country in every aspect that we believe will be important to develop the country, and we believe agriculture is one of them. We do not have the answers. We are not experts in agriculture, so we do not claim that, but we are happy to support all the efforts of government. Also, we are part of the Nigeria Economic Summit Group, which in itself is the organizers of this event, and together with other partners in the Nigeria Economic Summit Group, we identified agriculture as being an area to really focus on.
A host of people would think that you'll be a little nervous when the focus is changing from oil and gas, which is now our mainstay, to agriculture. I mean, all companies, petroleum companies, people dealing with allied products. I mean, liquefied natural gas is also something found in the environment. Shouldn't you be a little more, nervous as to what the role of agriculture, as to how you could be relegated to the background? Does that scare you?
No, it doesn't. I mean, it actually excites us, because when we look at the challenges we face as a company, part of it is also the wider society challenges. So, for example, unemployment. It's a big issue in Nigeria, 23% level of unemployment. That affects us as a company. We have huge pressures on employment on us, and even in our local communities and our host communities, the amount of desire to be employed by Nigeria LNG is something we cannot handle. And agriculture is a business that indeed can employ quite a lot of people. It already does. I think more than half of Nigeria is in some shape employed in agriculture. So being able to support such allied industries will indeed take the focus off us, as you said, create other industries, employment for people in other places, generating more income for Nigeria to help the development of the country. Because, as I'm sure you know, it's not enough for the development that we need to put in place.
You spoke of support. What sort of support are you looking at?
In different angles. I mean, you did mention the host community as an example.
Are you helping the host communities now in the area of agriculture?
In fact, 2 months ago, we worked with the community for a Pan-Bonny conference, a conference that brought all stakeholders in Bonny together, led by the King. And in that conference, we looked at what we call the paradigm shift, which is how to make Bonny community depend less on the oil and gas industry and be able to create alternative industries, agriculture, fishery industries, to be able to provide wealth and provide employment for a lot of the Bonny communities. So we're working very hard with them on that now. We're having international NGOs supporting us in that effort. So that we are already working on. On the wider society in the country, of course, as I mentioned, we're a member of the Nigeria Economic Summit Group, and we are keen to, in that platform, support efforts to continue to expand where we are in agriculture in Nigeria. I think the good part is that the Minister for Agriculture is already taking on some very positive steps and some bold steps, and we are keen to support those efforts as well.
You know, for young people in such communities, we've seen so many mails and even tweets from them with wonderful ideas, but they can't actually bring this to fruition if they don't have the support, especially financial support. Is your organization looking towards a microcredit scheme for such people in those communities?
Of course. I mean, for more than a decade now, we have been supporting microeconomics in Bonny. In fact, as of today, we do have 500 million naira that we have available for...
500 million?
Yes, that we have available today for microcredit. And a lot of that is already being used. I mean, if you go to Bonny, you'll see quite a lot of young people in Bonny who already benefit from this.
How is awareness like? Because sometimes you have that somewhere and they don't even know that there exists such fund for them to access.
I think we do work with a lot of hierarchies in Bonny. So there is the Bonny Development Council, which we work closely with. They are aware of that. And even for the youth organizations that we also do relate with, we make them aware of that. Of course, we could continue to expand on the awareness, but I think it's something that most people in Bonny are aware of. They see people around them who have benefited from it as well.
The question of, I mean, talking fisheries now, was there any question of, look, pollution? And if it came up, how did you handle that? Because, I mean, you talk about our waters are polluted, we can't even fish anymore. But fisheries is a very, very lucrative part of this whole thing.
Definitely. I mean, in many other parts of the world who have the sort of environment we have with water, fishery is a big aspect. It's not only just coastal fishing, it's also even offshore, deep offshore fishing, which of course there's no pollution in those sort of environments. I think we are fortunate in Bonny because remember Nigerian LNG came in to help stop some of the environmental challenges like gas flaring. So the environment in Bonny is not one that has suffered as much as other areas in the Niger Delta. So in our discussion with the host community around looking at fishery, that was not a major issue.